So I guess we can start. So welcome everyone to our webinar. My name is Eva Johnson, and I'm here today to talk about the challenges and the possibilities of integrating hardware, waterfall, and software agile development. And my colleague Chandra Sabo is also here to introduce and show you the live demo of CodeBeamer. So let's start. So first, I would love to show you our agenda for today. First, I'm going to introduce Inland software to you. Then I'm briefly going to talk about Waterfall and Agile. Then I'm going to show you the lifecycle XLM. And then release products with hardware and software components. And then we're going to show you the live demo of CodeBeamer ALM. Before we start with the webinar, I would like to give you some useful information. First, a live demonstration will be followed by a QA session. So if you have any questions during the demonstration, just please type it in and we're going to answer to all these questions at the end. The webinar recording will be available at our website, intland.com webinars, and also on this page you could see the upcoming webinars: risk management, DevOps, enterprise architect, demand and project portfolio management, risk management. And at the bottom of this page you're also going to see the webinar recordings of the previous past webinars. So let's start with who we are. Intel Software was founded in 1989. We are headquartered in Stuttgart, Germany, and in Silicon Valley, California, North America. We have partners in Korea and Taiwan. Our product is called CodeBeamer ALM. It is an application lifecycle management platform with 5 modules, including requirements management, software development management, QA test management, demand management, and IT operation DevOps. A few words about our clients. We have clients from different industries, from automotive, high technology, defense, finance, medical, and from many other industries. But we are here today to talk about integrating hardware, waterfall, and software agile development. So let's start with a short introduction of Waterfall. The Waterfall methodology is widely accepted as being the first comprehensive design methodology. It is coming from manufacturing and constructing, and it is in use since the 60s for large-scale projects. We could see that the pure Waterfall model works well in situations where there are long delivery cycles, separate testing phases, and where the original design and requirements are unlikely to change. So the illustration shows you how a traditional Waterfall model breaks down. It breaks down into 5 phases. Requirements. This is where we correct all the requirements. Then the design. It could be a logical or a physical design. And the implementation, this is where the source code is written. Once these steps are completed, the development moves to the next phases, to verification and maintenance. Each phase of the development proceeds in a strict order without any overlapping or iterative steps. Or actually, this is what's technically applies for a traditional waterfall model. What we also know is the Internet of Things. We all heard that expressions, and we also know how things embedded with electronics influence development. So we could say that software and services are increasingly becoming the backbone of products, and they are transforming what we really mean by terms product. And it required the evolution of Waterfall, Agile, and the new development, what we call XLM. So when I talk about the evolution of Waterfall, then I mean roughly this chart. So we talked about the very first traditional waterfall model, but it is also important to mention waterfall with agile implementations and waterfall with overlapping phases. Before we go deeper into this, just a short explanation. What's the difference between waterfall and the VO-FOW model? The Germans calls it FOW model, and it is technically a German interpretation of the waterfall model, and it's very, very close to the waterfall model. That's a reason why I also highlighted this next to the waterfall. So, the waterfall with agile implementation. So it is often the case that by the time the embedded software is integrated with the hardware, the original project specifications may have changed enormously, or the technology might be outdated. So applying agile processes into a waterfall project, you can split traditional waterfall development cycle into smaller incremental waterfall models. You can also call it series of mini Vs, and it enables you to alter product requirements and make some changes. I will show you when I talk about the pros and the cons. I will go back to this, what it means making some changes. And the waterfall with overlapping phases, it's a variation of the classic waterfall, and it suggests a fair amount of overlap between the phases of the software development lifecycle. The approach to development is considered suitable for projects that require a fair number of insights between each layer of development as the development lifecycle progresses. So as long as in the pure waterfall model, complete documentation is expected to be handed off to the team in charge of the next phase of development. In the waterfall with overlapping phases, the documentation can change, and it encourages a continuity between the development phases. So with other words, I show you the pros and the cons. So obviously traditional waterfall, we know it is simple and easy to understand and use. Each phases has specific deliverables, and each phases is proceeds and completed one at a time. And the disadvantage, the downside of it is very difficult to make changes, and a working software is produced at the end of the life cycle, and it also comes with a high amount of risk and uncertainty. If you use waterfall with agile implementations, then you will see the agile benefits in developing software. The change do not require changes in other discipline, but still it has disadvantage. The benefits is limited to the software and difficult to make changes except the software. If you use the waterfall with overlapping phases, then you can fully leverage the agile benefits. Issues can be discovered at the beginning of the development, and you can minimize the rework and probably have a better final product. But the disadvantage of this model is that the requirements change all across the team, and that's why you need to be careful to avoid iterating back to an earlier phase and avoid repeating too many iterations. So we talked about waterfall. Now, to understand how it comes together, we should say a few words about Agile. So really quickly, because probably you all know what Agile is. So as the explanation there on the chart says, it is a time-box iterative approach to software delivery that builds software incrementally from the start of the project instead of trying to deliver it all at once at the end of the development. So, and probably you all know the Agile Manifesto. As you look at this short illustration, then you will see on the left side that this is technically the Agile Manifesto. So Agile prefers individuals and iterations over processes and tools, customer collaboration over contract negotiation, working software over comprehensive documentation, and responding to change or following a plan. So we could simply say that the left is waterfall and the left is agile and the right side is technically the waterfall. That's the difference between the two. And because agile is agile is a software development is a group of software development methodology that enables you to respond quickly to changes. Therefore, obviously, you see also some benefits in here using agile. So you will see technically better productivity, better engagement, better quality, and you can reduce the product delivery cycle and increase delivery frequency. So you might wonder why it is important to talk all about this. And the simple answer would be because of the increasing product complexity. So in the past, in the 60s, products used to have just a hardware component. So for example, build a car. And after that, and later on, products started to become smarter and they already have and still have software components. And now we live in the age of the Internet of Things, and many companies has to face the challenge how to combine both hardware and software components into their products. So just give you some numbers of how hard that is. That these days we talk about 1 million lines of codes in a product. And what we try to obviously achieve in here with Codebeamer is to give you an answer and a solution for that, how to manage interconnected overlapping innovation life cycles. So what we talk about is here and in this webinar is technically this, that the interconnected overlapping innovation life cycles, and integrating and managing this life cycles is a challenge faced by a growing numbers of companies. And we have identified 3 dimensions that companies need to deal with. The first is integration of suppliers. In order to be able to manage this immense, huge complexity introduced by Internet of Things, companies should strengthen their ties with suppliers. So not only involve them in certain stage of the life cycle, but collaborate with them through the development and the maintenance of the products. The second dimension, what we identified, is the integration of life cycles. So these integrated and overlapping life cycles require a new management approach. And that's where the third dimension comes from, is the integration of tools and technologies. So to support the new approach, this new management approach and this new approach and enable the manage of the overlapping life cycles, the tools and technologies they have been separated in the past should be holistically integrated these days. And Codebeamer, with a solid demand and requirements management functionality, what you see here on the top of the left side, helps you to identify valuable projects. And since the requirements, demands, and feature set is fully integrated in the ALM solution, then you can move on to the development of the identified items. So that's the solution what we offer, and that's what you could see in the live demonstration. Before the live demonstration, I would love to show you this slide, and it gives you an overview how we implemented the demo project for the webinar today. So many self-organized teams can work with different methodologies such as Agile or Waterfall, as each of them has advantages and disadvantages. On this slide, you see 2 Agile teams for software development and 2 Waterfall teams for hardware development. The continuous delivery is called Agile Release Train and the program level. And the program level aligns the teams to form an Agile release train. With our release mechanism, we can combine and interconnect many development teams from the team level, and they can work together on the release. You could also see here different roles. Let me just give you a quick overview what these different people do. So the release manager responsible for product release, and he assists managing and planning releases for the release train. The software development team consists of developers and testers, and each software development team has a Scrum Master. The product owner as member of the team and can support many agile teams. He is responsible for defining and prioritizing the team backlog and for the execution of the prioritized program. And on the other hand, on the Waterfall team, it consists of requirements engineer, system engineer, architect, programmer, and tester. And now we're gonna go to the live demo, but before I do, as usual, I would also know what you are interested in, why you are here today. So let me ask just 3 simple questions. So the first is, I'm curious which tool are you using? It is MS Office, IBM, Jira, HP, or any other. I'm still getting some answers, and thank you for it. All right, and I guess this is it. Then let's go to the second question. So I'm curious, what are you searching for? So what tool are you searching for? Is it requirements, with testing, or a tool that can handle your entire development cycle, such as an ALM tool, an Agile project management tool, and a multiply Agile project management tool? Thank you. And then my last question is, what software development methodology are you using? So is it Agile, Scrum, Waterfall, the V4 model, or hybrid? Well, I guess we do not have more answers, so thank you very much. And as long as I give the control to my colleague, I would love to call your attention to this free ALM workshop that we host. It's going to be Stuttgart, Frankfurt, München in June and July. And now we'll give the control panel to my colleague, and then we will start with the live demonstration.
Okay, hello, I'm Sándor Szabó. I'm the part of the development team of Codebeamer at Intland Software, and I would like to present you the live demo about this combined teamwork in Codebeamer. So what you can see here is similar to the one before the last flyer. What you can see here is we have a project for the program level, and on the team level there are separate projects for Agile teams and Waterfall developments. If we get into the program level, here the most important thing is the Agile release train. This contains the high-level development efforts of the company. And here we can see that this company, it's an artificial context, is developing a touch screen at first, and then they are developing an infusion pump and a media player. These things contain hardware and software, and if we open the release train details, we can see that here there are releases of hardware and software development. In fact, with the Codebeamer release mechanism and connecting the releases, we can combine the Waterfall and Agile teams together, and we can see their observe their work in one view. Yes. So that's the release train, and now let's jump into the media player hardware project. So it's one of the Waterfall projects that are in progress. If we take a look to the trackers, we can see that here there are marketing requirements, system requirements, hardware requirements, tasks, change requests, and bugs. Also, we have releases here, and we have the test management modules, the test cases, test configuration, test sets, and test runs. Later we will show you it in details. And if we take a look to the configuration diagram, on this diagram we can see the workflow of this entire project and the system of trackers. Nearly all of the activities are concentrating in the releases, and the releases is connected to the program level releases, and that's how this kind of integration is solved or realized. In the Codebeamer terminology, the trackers are a set of artifacts with similar properties and similar configuration. So what you can see here are sets of artifacts which are called trackers. If we take a look to the releases of this Waterfall development project, we can see that these small V models are implemented in the release on the release level by using iterations. Let's take a look to the second iteration. Here in this iteration, all the iterations repeat the same structure, and in this iteration you can see that there is a sub-release to define requirements, design architecture, build the hardware, and test the hardware. And in the next iteration the hardware is extended and the same steps happen again. These are the small V's mentioned in the mentioned by Eve. Let's see the members of this project and the roles used in the project. It's a Waterfall project, so we have architect, we have programmers, requirements engineers and testers, and for administrative purposes we have a project admin role. And now we just observe a little bit the system requirements. So this is the system requirements of a media player. A media player has CPU, memory, digital signal processing, amplifier, earphone output, USB connector, and other things. Here the system requirements are recorded, and in this view, the document view of the system requirements, there are features to support the work with of the requirement engineer. Of course, here there is the left tree. In the left tree you can do drag and drop operations. You can observe the test cases and test case details. You can also drag and drop and move the items between each other. And if we just check the left, the context menu, in the context menu you can see you can copy, you can add association, you can create new child and delete and similar operations. And we also have here in the center panel the rating functionality. Here you can add just a rating to the requirement, and this rating is visible for the entire team. So we can say it's good, and we rate it for 4 stars. Then the rating is saved and shown in this same small panel. And here there is a plus icon just in the bottom of this small menu. If you click on it, you can create referring items, so that if this tracker is connected with the reference field, like test cases, or from system requirements you would like to create hardware requirements, you just click on this menu, and in an overlay you can create your hardware requirement, and the relationship is established between the two. We have a very easy way to manage the workflow. So if here there is a new requirement in a new status, then you just click on this icon and the upcoming transitions are visible, and you can, with one click, you can accept the requirement and it changes its status. In this view we also have the coverage browser. Page, and it takes some short time. On the coverage browser you can see the list of requirements and the list of their test cases connected to the requirements and organized into a tree view. And for each requirement you can see how many test cases they have, how many of them were run, and how many of them were passed, failed, or blocked. So here there is a summary information on the right side, and on the left side you can just control the tree, and on the top you can filter the results by release, configuration, and even the tracker. You can choose different trackers here. We also have an interesting feature called Traceability Browser. It is supposed to provide traceability between the different items. So now we have the system requirements, and we would like to see the connections and relationships with the suspected information, let's say with the test cases tracker. Then in this list you just click on the test cases, and the entire relationship is put here in a table. And you can also, after choosing the test cases, you can choose a third tracker or a fourth one without limits. So you can see the traceability of your entire system this way. And it works in the chained way. So it means that from system requirements it tries to find relationship to the test cases, and from the test cases it tries to find relationship with the next tracker, but with the third tracker it doesn't find relationships with the first tracker. So it's like a chain of relationships. And now let's take a look to the test cases document view. In the test cases document view you can edit the test steps. Here are the test steps in the center panel of the test case. You can edit the pre-action, the post-action of the test case. So pre-action is the action that you have to do before starting this test, and post-action is the thing to do after the test. And you can also edit here the test parameters. The test parameters in Codebeamer are stored on the test case level and test set level, so that you can define a set of parameters on the test case level. And if you define some parameters that are overlapping with this on the test set level, the test set level has priority, and the test runner intelligently computes what are the parameter sets, computing it from the test set and test cases. And in the test runner, it creates combinations of these test parameters. And as many combinations there are, as many runs of the test case will run automatically. So we have also test parameter feature, and we have the test sets. In the test sets page, you can organize your test cases into sets that will be run in one test run. Here we can see that we combine 3 test cases into one test set, and from the test set page you can initiate a test run. So just clicking on the new test run, you get to the new test run page, and here just you have to provide the name and description and choose a configuration and the release, and then the test run is created and you can run the test run. With the test runner you click on run, and the test runner is just running the test cases one after the other and provide you the test steps, and you can pass or fail the test step, and you can provide an information in the actual result field. So let's pass this and save the result. In the middle of running you can end the test run. You can choose whether it will be completed or suspended. Let's suspend this test set run with pass status. So in this case, the test runner is just closing, and the test run is set into the correct, the according status. So we can say that it's suspended, and so far the status is passed, and the first test was run and passed by me, and the second and third tests cases are not run yet. So you can just run again or restart this test set run. And so that was the demonstration of the Waterfall project. And now let's change to the Agile project. So this is an Agile project. If we take a look to the trackers, we can see that here there are epics, user stories, change request feature, tasks, and bugs. And if we just take a look at the configuration diagram, here again we can see that nearly all the things are running together on the releases, and the releases is connected to the program level release. That's the workflow of this project. And then if we check the roles, we have a developer role, Scrum Master, and tester role, and of course the project admin role. Let's take a look to the releases of this Agile project and have a closer look to the player software version 2.0. Here there are several possibilities. This is the release statistics page. Here you can have a short overview about the statistics, the accumulated number of items, the story points, sprints, and other information. And if you click on this ruler icon, you just get to the planner. The planner is a unique feature in Codebeamer. And in the planner you can manage the sprint before starting the work, or at least before finishing the work on the tasks. And on the planner, here on the left side, you can see a sprints panel. In the sprints panel, you can drag and drop the sprints. So from one sprint to the other, you can organize your sprints. In the context menu, you can move up, edit, or even you can open the planner only for this sprint. By clicking on one sprint, you filter the center panel list of items to that sprint, and by clicking on it again, the full list is shown again. Here there is a special virtual sprint called project backlog. It's actually it's the project backlog, and from the backlog you can move items from the project backlog to the different sprints by this view. And you can also edit the sprints in an overlay editor, change the name, the description, and the start of work, the release date, and other information. And you can also create new sprints so that you can organize the structure of your sprints in this view. Another feature is the team commitment feature. Here you can see the list of the team members and roles which have issues assigned to them. If you click on one role or a user, you can see in the center panel, you can see only the issues of that role or user. By clicking on it again, the filtering is disabled and you can see all again. In the left panel, we have a third feature called relations, and here you can see the list of epics or user stories, or if they are connected, epics and user stories in a structure. And if you click on a user story or an epic, you can see the items of only that user story. So it's another filtering feature. In the center panel, you can edit the tasks. You can, in the context menu, you can send them to the top, to the bottom. You can send them to other sprints that are just enumerated using the current sprint information. And you can even duplicate them. You can also edit the story points by double-clicking in the story point field where applicable. If there is no story point field or it's not editable, then the control is not shown. And by pressing enter, you have it saved, and you can see that the parent issue has a summary, a new summary appeared, because it has also child issues, and it's the summary of the story points of the child issues. You can edit also the assignees by clicking on this pencil icon. You can see the list of roles and users, and you can choose a user or a role, and then it is saved. It is saved into the assignee field. Here on the right side, you can see different informations, the properties of the tracker, and the description of the tracker, the associations, and the comments, and you cannot comment on the planner. You can also add comment. We also have another view of the releases, the Kanban board, and on this Kanban board you can move the cards that represent issues from one column to the other, and this way you can set the status to them. So if you drag one card, all the drop zones represent a new status which has a meaning. Like, for example, the to-do meaning has the unset, the new, the suspended, and partly completed status, and the in progress column, the in progress meaning, has only the in progress status. So let's change this issue to in progress. So it just goes here to in progress. The status and the color is changing. So that's a cardboard view. Pretty much that was the demo. Thank you very much for your attention, and I hope that we will meet on the next webinar.